What if you could travel in a straight line forever? Imagine stepping into a starship, pointing it toward a distant fleck of light, and just going. You pass our moon, then Mars, then the gas giants of our solar system. You leave the Milky Way behind, a swirling pinwheel of light shrinking in your rearview mirror. Do you eventually hit a wall, or does the journey simply never ever end? This is not just a question for science fiction, it is one of the most profound and brain-breaking questions we can ask. The answer, whether finite or infinite, has staggering implications. Are we inhabitants of a boundless, unending cosmic ocean, or are we living inside a colossal but ultimately limited bubble? One suggests an eternal expanse, while the other presents a boundary that begs the question, what lies beyond it? It's a question that can make you feel incredibly small, yet simultaneously connected to the grandest mystery of all. When we gaze up at the night sky, we are not just seeing twinkling lights. We are looking into the depths of time and space. The silence of space holds this giant secret. Our day begins. The alarm clock rings. We make coffee, check our emails, and plan our schedules. Our world is tangible, immediate, and filled with familiar routines. But all of this unfolds under a sky that holds a secret of an entirely different magnitude. Every night, this other reality reveals itself. We step outside, away from the city lights, and look up. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, stretches across the sky like a river of light. Beyond our galaxy, there are other galaxies. This is the universe we are a part of, even as we sip our morning coffee. We live our lives in a bubble of human scale, but we exist within a cosmos of unimaginable proportions. The question of whether this cosmos is finite or infinite isn't just an abstract thought experiment. It's the ultimate context for our existence. The simple act of looking up at the stars is an invitation to step out of our bubble and face the scale of it all. Let's try to wrap our minds around infinity. Imagine a library with an infinite number of books. This library would contain every book ever written, but it would also contain every book that could possibly be written. It would have your life story, word for word. This is the nature of infinity. It's not just a lot. It is everything and every possibility, all at once. Now apply that idea to the universe. If the cosmos is truly infinite, it means it stretches on forever in all directions. Any point can be considered the center. Somewhere out there in that endless expanse, there is another solar system just like ours, with a planet just like Earth. This idea is what scientists call the ergodic hypothesis applied to cosmology. The building blocks of matter can only be arranged in a finite number of ways within a given volume. If you have an infinite volume of space, those arrangements must repeat. The infinite universe is a place of boundless wonder, but also a place where our most cherished ideas about individuality can dissolve into a sea of endless repetition. Humans are creatures of boundaries. We crave them and, we create them everywhere. We draw lines on maps to define countries. We build fences to mark the edges of our property. Our stories have a start, a middle, and an end. This need for limits is fundamental to how we make sense of the world. The universe, however, may not care about our need for comfort. When we look out into the cosmos, we find no obvious fences, no clear dividing lines. This lack of a discernible edge is deeply unsettling to our boundary-seeking minds. The French philosopher and scientist Blaise Pascal felt this cosmic anxiety profoundly. He wrote, "The eternal silence of these infinite spaces frightens me. To cope with this, we create our own conceptual boundaries. We talk about the observable universe, which is the part of the cosmos from which light has had time to reach us since the Big Bang. This gives us a kind of edge, a horizon beyond which we cannot see. But we know it's an artificial boundary. The universe likely continues far beyond what we can see, perhaps forever." For millennia, humans have looked to both the heavens and their sacred texts for answers to these ultimate questions. Long before we had powerful telescopes, we had faith and philosophy. The sheer scale and complexity of the universe, whether seen through the lens of a telescope or the words of a prophet, have a way of putting our own existence into perspective. Many religious traditions speak of the heavens as a sign of a creator's power and majesty. Philosophers, too, have grappled with the infinite. Blaise Pascal, despite his fear, also saw a dual reality. He saw humanity as perfectly balanced between the infinitesimally small and the infinitely large. This convergence of thought is powerful. Let's flip the coin. For a moment, let's abandon the dizzying idea of an infinite universe and consider the alternative. What if it's finite? What if, after traveling for an unimaginable amount of time, you finally reached it? The edge, the absolute end of space. What would that even look like? Would it be a solid, impenetrable wall, a shimmering energy field, or would space itself just stop? The concept is just as mind-bending as infinity, because it immediately forces us to ask the most logical yet most impossible next question: what's on the other side? Some theories propose that the universe could be finite but have no edge, like the surface of a sphere. If you travel in a straight line, you would eventually end up right back where you started. Could our universe be just one bubble floating in a much larger meta-reality, a multiverse? This possibility doesn't necessarily make us feel any less small. In fact, it might make us feel even more insignificant. But it also adds a new layer of wonder. The mystery doesn't end at the edge of our universe. It might just be the beginning of a much larger, more complex, and even more awe-inspiring reality. So we are left suspended between two equally staggering possibilities. On one hand, a universe that is infinite, repeating itself endlessly in a tapestry of cosmic monotony and boundless possibility. On the other, a universe that is finite, contained within a boundary that leads to the ultimate question of what lies beyond. Neither answer places humanity at the center of things. Both scenarios paint a picture of a cosmos so vast and so strange that our existence on this small, rocky planet seems like a fleeting, improbable miracle. This realization doesn't have to be terrifying. It can be profoundly humbling and, in a strange way, comforting. Our lives, our triumphs, and our tragedies are all part of a much grander cosmic dance. We are not the stars of the show, we are the audience, and we have been given the incredible privilege of a front-row seat. Whether the universe has an edge or not, our purpose can be found in the here and now. The grandeur of the cosmos doesn't diminish the meaning of our lives, it amplifies it. And check out this video right here, it'll take your journey even further. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace and blessings.